All right, Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama, and as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there, and as always, you believers. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. As always, continuing in the spirit and theme of prophecy, which pretty much sets the tone, if you will, as it relates to this book, the Holy Bible, and how it's properly presented. Meaning you actually have certain of those out there who might associate themselves with the Bible. You know, they might use the scriptures as a guide in their life. You know, you have others who actually study the Bible in the form of these, you know, so-called biblical scholars and historians, and others who altogether reverence this book. Remember, the Bible is and remains a top seller. But with all that said, this book is sealed to the masses of the people. It's pretty much locked. And in order for you to unlock the mysteries that lies within it, then one must possess the key. And that key is pretty much the testimony of Yahweh Shai, meaning one must apply the element of the spirit of prophecy. And this is what we found out, and eventually what you people are going to find out. Matter of fact, let's begin real quick in the book of, what's that, 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, in the first verse. Because the spirit of prophecy is what's coveted, even with the Most High. And that's pursuant to the book of 1 Corinthians, the first chapter, where it pleased the Most High through the foolishness of preaching. Now, that word preaching, which emanates from preacher, is far beyond in the modern sense of the word. You know, your average pork chop eating preacher. That doesn't apply. When you break that word preacher down, it pretty much translates to prophet. That word preacher is a compound word. Pre meaning before, and cher going back to the Latin word to say. So when you put the words together, pre and cher, it literally translates to say before. So to be a preacher is pretty much a prophet. So again, when the Lord said that it pleased him through the foolishness of preaching, that translates to the spirit of prophecy. All right, so come on out.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
Right, so that's the spirit that's most coveted. Matter of fact, let's click on that word prophecy. Baba Kasha. And you notice the heading, right? It says prophecy is a gift. It's a spiritual gift. And what makes prophecy a gift? Because actually it preserves your life. What do I mean by that? When you read the book of, for an example, Proverbs, the 22nd chapter and the 3rd verse, the prudent man foreseeth the evils and hideth himself. And what's the catalyst to him hiding himself, which that translates to being preserved? The fact that he foresee. You have the ability to foresee the evils. So the ministry itself was set up to groom you to pretty much brace for the impact. So now you can take refuge in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But again, the bridge to that moment is the spirit of prophecy. Hey, because if Noah didn't have that spirit, which by the way, Noah had the testimony of Yahweh Shai. How do we know that? Because again, the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. If Noah didn't have that spirit, then he would have been destroyed. But as it were, that gift was given to him, which provoked a reaction. When he was endowed with that spirit of foreseeing the flood, the response was what? To build an ark. And that ark saved his life. So that's why the scriptures say, rather ye prophesy. All right, come on.
It says to prophesy, to be a prophet, speak forth by divine inspirations, to predict.
Right, so that's how the Bible is properly presented. It basically promotes forecasting. you actually predict. And it's not based upon our calculations. No, it's due to what? Divine inspirations. See? Go ahead.
To prophesy with the idea of foretelling future events pertaining especially to the kingdom of the Most High.
Come on, man. Yeah, these future events have nothing to do with this realm in the sense of, they had this guy, I forgot what this pastor, he said, I foresee somebody leaving $10,000. I don't know if you saw this fucking nigga, man. The spirit telling me somebody finna make a sower up, right? No, the future events that we foretell is pertaining to the kingdom of the Most High. Hey, for an example, when we speak about the famine, those are things that pertains to the kingdom. Why? Because there's a chronological order before we experience the world to come. You see? Go ahead.
To utter forth, declare a thing which can only be known by divine revelation.
See that? A thing which can only be known by divine revelation. Like I mentioned, the famine or the great awakening of the children of Israel, that can only be known. You can only pick up on that through divine revelation. You have people who pass by the camps. They see this gathering, this transition of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American returning to their power, and they lost. They marvel at it. Why? Because you can only entertain that through divine revelation. See? Oh, the identifying and targeting of the devil and Satan that the scripture speaks of, which we found out to be Esau, the so-called white man. That can only be known through divine revelation. The see here, closing in on this technology, which is biblical. Well, as much as the people could see the system being set up, the infrastructure being in play, they can't wrap their mind around it. Why? Because they lack that, right? That spiritual glue, if you will. Well, this also applies to the lesson. Matter of fact, let me look at this title again. World War III is a reality, man. Because you have people out there, prognosticators, those who so-called forecast. They are considered experts in understanding the temperature on the planet Earth. And they'll tell you that, it's a lot of, what would you call it? Friction with the kings of the earth.
Okay.
Right? But they feel as if World War III really ain't an option. That's not going to happen. Or even this guy Trump, remember he came out a few months and said, no, we're going to stop a global war. See? But we here to tell you, World War III is a reality according to the Bible, and the stage is set. And guess what? That definition is perfect, right? To declare a thing which can only be known by what? Divine revelation. So the Lord pretty much blinded the masses of the people. They can't see. The Lord put a veil over their eyes. They can't see the obvious. But it's an effort to what? Matter of fact, you know what? Let's get that real quick. Proverbs, I mentioned it earlier.
Okay.
Let's get that. Proverbs 22. In which we got a little information we want to bring out. Tokens, if you will. Physical evidence that proves that the momentum is teetering towards a global war. See? And you can look no further than the Holy Scriptures to make sense of it. Hey, that proves, hey, look, man, this the most powerful book. This book, this Bible reigns supreme. Why? Because what lies within it is the words of the highest powers conceivable. The Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. All right, so come on.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
See that? So you have those who are going to be punished, versus those who are going to be preserved. And the wedge pretty much between the two is prudence, which is on display in the form of foreseeing. So the Lord blinded the people so they can't see the reality of a global war. Hence, they're going to pass on. They're going to be whistling right into the missiles, man. Matter of fact, you know what? It's a few words that jump out here, but let's get that word foreseeth.
Okay. That word foreseeth, to see, look at, inspect, perceive, consider.
Right. Consider. Perceive. Now, remember, Yahweh made the statement in Matthew the 13th chapter, blessed are your eyes, for they see. Why? Because now you can hide yourself. Come on.
It says to see, perceive, have vision.
Oh, what's that? Is not that Proverbs 29? Matter of fact, let's get that. That's all we need right here.
Okay.
Let's get that Proverbs 29. I believe it. Is it
Well, there's no vision. There it is.
Yep.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Yeah. So you see the importance of prophecy, man.
Yeah.
Where there's no vision, and guess what? That vision is this doctrine, which basically outlines the will of the Most High. Or what's that? Romans, the 12th chapter, speaks about the perfect will of Yahweh Shai. Hey, because you have certain people who know the will of the Most High in the sense of, if you was to ask them, what was the will of the Most High in the time of Noah? They'll give you an answer. They'll say, oh, with him, the brain of flood. But then if you ask them what's his perfect will, then that's where they're going to be confounded. Because the perfect will of the Most High is to destroy America. When you go into that word perfect, it translates to finish. So the final scene, if you will, in this drama would be the destruction, World War III. And guess what? Every circle, every huddle of doctrines or whatever one might subscribe to, they don't possess that vision. That's why they're going to perish. See? Up in those churches, there ain't no vision up in there. Meaning what? They're going to perish. These different panels where you got Negroes discussing what we're going to do with the community.
Right.
Vision ain't up there, man. So they're going to perish. Read that again.
Where the Proverbs 29 and 18, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Right. Now that's a stumbling block. Because we know that we can't keep the law in its perfection here in his lifetime, especially under the watch of E. So what does the scripture mean when it says he that keepeth the law? That means possess the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Oh, is it not written? Hold fast to that which thou hast. That's equivalent to what? Keeping the law. Matter of fact, click on that word law right there. Let's see what it gives you.
It says law, direction, instruction. Instruction, direction, human or divine, body of prophetic teaching.
The body of prophetic teaching. So you have, you know, these irresponsible teachers out here, like IUIC, they push that vibration, the law. but they stumble at the sayings of Yahweh. When you go into that word law right there, you see one of the definitions is what? Body of prophetic teachings. You see? Hey, because let's just say hypothetically you can keep the law, but you take the chip. You're going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
Instruction in Messianic age.
See, in Messianic age. And that's the time we're in. See that? So we can go back. Unless you got some? Yep. So let's read that again.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
And what's going to make you happy? You're going to be happy when you deliver. You're not going to feel, you never felt that feeling. It's not another moment in time you can look back on and it can rival that moment of being delivered from that unquenchable fire, man. But what's the catalyst to that? He who keepeth the law. And we just looked up that word law. It translates to what? Body of prophetic teachings. So we're encouraged to what? Continue in this doctrine, man. You can't waver. See? You got to continue in it. So, yeah, I'm going to hand it over to you, Art.
This is from newsbreak.com. It says NATO's country ship explodes in drone strike as World War III fears explode.
Right. So that's the temperature on the planet Earth, man. World War III. You see? And you notice, right? It pretty much, it screams the prophecies, you know, NATO, the beast.
Right.
Come on, man. But this is an example of what? War on a global scale actually being a reality. But do we expect the people to see it? No. Because again, the Lord, he gave them the spirit of slumber. Oh, is it not written? What's that? 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter? Those who sleep, they sleep at night. So in this time of gross darkness, this time of misinformation, and it's readily available. That's why you got all these different channels, YouTube channels. You come across some bug out speaking about ancient scrolls in Egypt. Now all of a sudden, you detoured. I can't remember this guy name. This guy, he always speak about the Bible and he go over the top trying to prove that it's not valid.
Oh, man.
Lord will, man. If I
know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The Jake.
Yeah. Yep. The Jake. Yep.
Yeah. He said, yeah. Why would I believe in the Bible? He referenced the Lord's Prayer, and he said that the Lord's Prayer date back to some ancient Assyrian scribe or some crazy bugged out. But you'll have someone who will see that, and they'll succumb. See? That's why the scriptures say, what? Keep thy eye single, man. Because we in the time, the temperature on the earth is a lot of window shopping. You got a lot of different platforms with all these different opinions, various presentations. And if you're not rooted and grounded in Yahweh, then, what's that? Ephesians, the 4th chapter, you're going to be taken by that wind of doctrine. And guess what? That wind of doctrine going to lead to the winds, the nuclear winds.
Right.
And the Lord Coleman, that's why he named it the wind of doctrine. See, because you subscribing to it is going to cost you your life. But for those of you who have eyes, you see it. We right in the midst of World War III. It's going to climax with the missiles being shot. But ultimately, that's the temperature on the earth. Exodus, no, not Exodus, but Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time of war. So come on, was it a read into that?
I think the headline pretty much said the story on this one right here.
Con.
This is from Express. It says Russia sparks new World War III fears with Kremlin ready to act as Trump beefs up Navy presence. And if I may, this is occurring, I believe, in Venezuela. So you got Venezuela calling on Russia, to back them against the U.S. They've already sent certain interceptors of airplanes, missile defense systems, against certain airplanes. And hey, World War III, you
Is it?
know.
Oh, that's Ezekiel, the 38th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Where Russia would be a guard.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a balance of power in the earth. You're going to have those who are going to side with America and Russia. But ultimately, now Russia is known as the bear.
Mm-hmm.
When the scriptures place Russia as the guard over these nations, that's going to be they're going to be fierce in guarding them, meaning they're going to be willing to take it there. When you consider a mother bear, when she guard her cubs, you don't want to. Hey, they tell you the worst thing to run across is a mother bear, right? Well, her cub,
Yeah.
because she's willing at that moment to take it there. She's going to become the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why Russia is known as the bear. You see, but again, you see that acronym World War III, man. See, that's the temperature in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reality. All right, come on.
I got a quick precept.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I may, as you've been bringing it out, the temperature on the earth is World War III is coming quickly, man. Scriptures say, "Now is our salvation nearer than when we first believed." But we're seeing these things now grow in the planet Earth, and again, the perfection of it is when those missiles are going to be shot out to America and various places around the world. But it's self evident. It's so apparent to us. You wonder why other people can't get it. But as you mentioned, Elder, the Lord has put them in that gross darkness, to where they can't see afar off. They can't see past America. They're stuck here. I remember you brought up that gravity.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a heavy thing because
Yeah.
they're not gonna be taken up. That's heavy.
Yeah, the Lord gonna have you locked in your position to receive that missile, man. And it's heavy, right? It says the second woe is past. Now, when you take a step back and you view history from a global perspective as it relates to war, you had what? 2 major wars in the earth. Scripture could easily say the 5th war. Then not right? It's just that volatile. All it had to be is one change of a number. But as it were, you see the validity of this book and the power that lies within it. You had World War II, which passed, but now you got the third war, which coming quickly. And that was the case. After World War II, they called it what? The nuclear arms race. They was headed. See? That's why I say come quickly, because you had the nuclear arm race right after World War II, man.
Good.
So this is the words of Yahweh on display. See? Matter of fact, real quick, go to the book of Revelation, since we're in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, 18 and 3.
Okay.
The scriptures say this is plain to the simple. But to the matter of fact, you know what? After we get that, we can, Lord will, if you can track that. I want to say it's Sirach 39 or something. Come on.
Okay. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants,
what I said, I meant 8.
18. Okay.
Sirach 8.
Okay.
Revelation 8.
Okay, slide.
And 3.
Revelation chapter 8 and verse 3. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints
You know what? I
upon
might
the
scroll down. Try 13. I know it's
con.
8 and yep, there's it. Salakia.
con. Revelation chapter 8 and verse 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe.
Right. See, and again, it could have been 5 woes.
Right? Yeah.
But as it were, it's promoting the third war.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is going to be the war of all wars. And the very catalyst, if you will, that's going to usher in the kingdom of heaven. You see? Go ahead.
Con. It says, To the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels, which are yet to sound.
See? So ultimately, the climax to the Lord's judgment will be the third war.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Yep. So let's get that one I called for.
Con. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39 of Slack. Chapter 39 and verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Come on, man. So if this information is plain, the Most High himself, he view you as holy, which simply means you've been separated. The Lord set you apart, so now you can hope in his salvation.
Mm-hmm.
See? So his ways, which we know his ways, is captured in the form of this doctrine. Well, it's plain to the holy, but it's stumbling blocks to the wicked, man. So when you present this concept of a global war to anyone out there, if they can't wrap their mind around it, that means they're wicked in the sight of the Most High. See? Hey, and we just read the second war is past. If that's not plain to you, especially as we peer out into the world and we see how the momentum is headed toward World War III. If that's not plain, then that means you're wicked.
Mm-hmm.
But if it registered with you, if it resonates with your spirit, then that means you're holy. The Lord set you apart. Now, the challenge is what? To endure to the end. And guess what? We'll take that. Versus someone who just out the loop. Why do you how about Shema Shai for seeing fit to open up our minds, open up our eyes to see his will? And remember, we read in the book of Proverbs, the 29th chapter, where there is no vision, people perish. So if you don't subscribe to what we teaching, that means you already been signed off on. The Lord already have numbered you to the sword. And in this case, that sword is those ICBM missiles. See? So yeah, that's all we need. Do we have any more articles?
It was a little bit of read in this one right here.
Come on.
It says Russia sparks new World War III fears with Kremlin ready to act as Trump beefs up Navy presence. It says Russia has pledged to be ready to help Venezuela as Donald Trump continues to reinforce the U.S. military presence near the South American nation in what the White House has framed as a war on drugs. Russia Foreign Affairs Minister said the Kremlin is ready to fully act within the framework of its obligations that there were mutually stipulated in this agreement with our Venezuelan friends.
Hey, you know what? He said you keep saying that word ready, right?
Oh man, what I was thinking that
that's that what you just read. We can get that.
Con,
Revelation, Revelation 11.
con.
Was it?
Yep, that's it.
We can get that Revelation 11 and 14 again. And I believe
Mhm.
that word there is quickly.
Con, yep, that's it.
You see? So the kings of the earth is ready for war. And they can't control that. Or what's that? The book of what's that? Is that Proverbs 11? It might be Proverbs 21.
Oh yeah, the king's heart.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, man. And as the waters, the rivers of waters or something like that,
Con,
he turn it whithersoever he will. So whatever the date of that article, Putin woke up ready for war, man.
right.
Come on.
Con, Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Right, it's coming quickly. Now let's see what that word quickly give you.
Con.
Oh, it reminds me of the statement we made. I believe it was the Sunday class we streamed. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you read the scriptures, there's a parable that lies within it, which frames the doctrine as the supper.
Mm.
Right? Scriptures say supper time.
Mm-hmm.
So within the doctrine or within the supper, the ingredients is destruction. You see? So the Lord have whipped up. Hey, when you have something ready to, when something is prepared, then it's ready to digest.
Mm-hmm.
You can't eat it unless it's ready.
Yeah,
So
right.
now the destruction ready, man. And that's what that word quickly going into. Matter of fact, come on out.
Cause it says quickly, speedily, without delay.
Mm-hmm.
Down in
Yep.
the
That's
Strong's.
why the earth is spinning faster.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the term when you have certain scientists. The Lord put certain scientists in the earth, and all they do is measure the speed of the earth in its rotation. And the earth has sped up. That's what the Lord hastening World War III. Come on.
Down in the Strong's, it says shortly, i.e., without delay,
Mm.
soon, or by surprise,
Yep.
suddenly. It says, or by implication of ease, readily.
Readily. That's why you keep saying that word ready thrown around as it relates to Putin.
Mm-hmm.
He ready. Again, you can look no further than the scriptures, man. Now, you know what jump out right here, too? It said by surprise. And that goes to not having vision. That's where you get that whole term of blindsided. Someone blindside you, that means you didn't see it, man. So that's the same with the destruction. You people been blindsided. But the Lord allowed us vision. We could see the missiles a mile away, man.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It creates a certain spirit in us to fear the Most High. And that's enough to get you cleared. Because the king, there's a saying that really applies to the Most High. The king rather be feared than loved or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that reaction of fear towards the Most High is what he's looking for. That's going to clear you and get you delivered. Versus these people who the Lord stripped them from the instincts of understanding how serious of a time we in. See? So the destruction is going to come upon them suddenly. All right, so that's all we need, right?
This next article, it says Putin claims there will be nobody left to negotiate peace with in chilling message to Europe.
Yeah.
It said,
Oh, no, yeah. You see that?
yeah.
Come on, man. The only way you can make sense of this energy that's in the earth is through the scriptures, the testimony of Yahweh Shai. It opens you up, right? Pretty much, we know the minds of these kings. We understand their fate. We know their future, man. And we can explain through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahweh Shai why this is the temperature in the earth. Come on, you can read that again.
It says Putin claims there will be nobody left to negotiate peace with in chilling message to Europe. Putin directs his ire towards Europe as peace talks devolve in squabbling. If I may, that's what the Lord said. There's not going to be any peace. He said evil and only evil. You know, so those peace talks that they're having is in vain anyway, because it's not under the will of the Lord. You know, his will is to bring this place down by way of World War III, through the belt, you know, through the Russians, man. You know, it just got a little bit on this first paragraph. It says the never-ending peace talks continue to draw out, as reports indicate. Both Ukraine leader Zelensky counseled a meeting with the president's envoys and returned home. Meanwhile, Trump negotiators have returned to Washington. This worrying development comes mere days after Vladimir Putin made a direct threat towards Europe. Oh yeah, you see it. World War III, man. You know, as much as they trying to, we're gonna hold peace, we're gonna have this negotiation. The Lord just canceling it out. And you mentioned it earlier, Elder. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it how he wanted to go. So they just puppets on the string and don't realize.
Oh well, you know what? That's the hooks.
I
say we put hooks in the jaws of them Russians. And pretty much all these kingdoms, the kings of the earth, because their hook represents someone leading them. So they could put all the treaties on the table they want. But guess what? The testimony of Yahweh Shai, the counsel of the Lord stand. Now that proves that we got the correct doctrine, because the Lord could have easily had the momentum. What's to say the Lord couldn't have made peace?
Right.
Just as the pendulum swinging towards war, it could have swung toward peace. They could have came together and said, hey, look, get rid of all the missiles. Throw them in the ocean. They throw everything else in the ocean.
Right.
Right? They could have got rid of it, man. But as it were, they still testing missiles, man. They polishing up that technology. You got the Chernobyl and, you know, different missiles. Oh, you got this. What's the one missile we were just discussing? Was it the Poseidon?
Oh yeah.
Right. So the missiles is elevating. Oh, that's the sword being sharpened on a higher level.
Yep.
Well, the technology of these missiles is pretty much it's reaching into a new frontier, man. See? So if for nothing else, the tokens, the things that we see around us, Yahweh Shai likened it to the fig trees beginning to bud forth. Everything points to a global war. See? Was there any more on that out?
That was it on that one, Elder.
So you know what? Let's go to 2nd Ezra 15, and we're gonna try to build up to the featured precept, if you will. I want to say that's Isaiah 24. Lord we'll examine that. And these scriptures come into life, man. As you see the characters, they settled into their roles. And I'm gonna say this too: the missiles is characters as well. You can read about that in Revelation 9, Joel, the 2nd chapter, as well. All right, come on.
Revelation chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Right. See, so the Lord have a particular people that he's dealing with. And the bridge, if you will, to that alliance is prophecy. And the rest of the people is excluded. That's why the scriptures say, "What speaking to the ears of my people." So when you whisper to someone, you're not playing it off. You directly letting whoever else in that room know that you don't want them to hear it. So this the secret place of the Most High. Go ahead.
Con. And cause them, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yep. Now, if I had to say something is true and faithful, that means that there's a lot of unbelief around. Right? You know, someone they might give a report and they might conclude it by saying, "I'm telling you the truth." That means that they sense unbelief. So that's the time we're in. We're in a season where there's a lot of unbelief, and rightfully so. The Lord stripped them from understanding that there's going to be a global war. So when we present it, it's foreign to you. That's why the Lord had to emphasize, look, this faithful and true. Go ahead.
Con. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
That proves that the message is really summarized with World War III. You see? As we read, where there is no vision, the people perish. Matter of fact, let's continue.
Con. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Come on, man. What's the destruction?
Yeah.
Right? If you can't see that that's World War III, then that means the Lord stripped you from sin. See? And again, as you peer out into the world and you see where the momentum is headed, you know, the kings of the earth, you got Putin pretty much hurling threats, as well as Trump. You see? That's the destruction. Come on.
Okay.
Now you're going to notice what the scripture is going to give you the reason why. Go ahead.
For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled.
Right. So the so-called white man who instigate that pollution, his works is fulfilled. We're in a time where basically, what's that? Job 38, thou proud ways stay and go no further. So we're in a time where this man have reached his climax. And the Lord is going to cap it off by destroying him. So there's a penalty for the hurtful works that this man has infused in the planet Earth. Where do we start, man? Or did you see the article I sent where you had a Butch, she had assistant football coach?
Man.
I know brothers wanted to lose. You're like, what the fuck? Your chubby niece turned into a damn assistant, a defensive coordinator, man. That's under the watch of Esau, the so-called white man.
Damn.
So you think that that's going to be fruitful? No, the Lord is going to pluck that spirit out the earth. As it is written, the eyes of the Lord is too pure to behold evil. So we just read where the scriptures is giving you the reasoning, the science behind the destruction. Now you notice where it all lines up perfectly, because are not we in a time where the most wickedest, perverse, twisted regime is in the earth? Yeah. So that's why it's missiles on the scene. So the Lord is giving you the reason. As a matter of fact, let's go there. Isaiah 24. We'll try to run through it. We'll start at the top.
Isaiah chapter 24 in verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
That's talking about the destruction, and mainly America. Because you might read that and you apply it to the entire planet Earth. No, America is Earth. From the East Coast to the West Coast, that's Earth. That ground, that's considered Earth. You see, if you go out your door right now and you dig a hole, you digging in the earth. So when the scriptures say the Lord is going to make the earth empty, that's talking about this portion of the earth. You know, as well as different parts of the world that's going to be affected by the war.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lord set his sights, the main place for those missiles is America. Go ahead.
Come. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower,
Mm-hmm.
as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
Right. And just to sum up what we read, everybody get it. The scriptures tell you, what's that Revelation? What's that? What speaks about
7,000.
um, yeah, 7,000.
Yeah, complete
Or
number of men.
Revelation 11, right? I think
Yeah.
7,000 men
Yep.
died in the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Seven is symbolic to completion.
Okay.
So this destruction is going to be so devastating that only a remnant is going to be a small number that's going to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of those who are destined to see the salvation of Yahweh Shai, everybody else is going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
Con. The land shall be utterly empty
Mm-hmm.
and utterly spoiled, for the Lord have spoken this word.
It goes back to prophecy. You see? So once the prophecies broke forth, that set off the fate of America. It became a reality. Thus the title of the lesson. World War III is a reality. What made it a reality? Because the Lord spoke it. And how did the Lord speak it? Through the prophets, which we come across as insignificant. The prophets is your uncle, your cousin, your co-worker.
Mm.
You see? And that contributes to what? You being discouraged from believing it. It shows you, man, the Lord is to be feared.
Mm.
If he don't want you to get it, he gonna make sure you don't get it, man. It's really rare that you believe us. For those of you out there who believe us, the Lord put the spirit on you to believe us. So that now you can hope in his salvation.
Mm.
Hey, because we don't suppose, right? The symbol, what we represent, don't supposed to be believed.
Okay.
In this world, go ahead.
Con. The earth mourneth and fadeth away.
Mm-hmm.
The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
See, so the earth is in the worst case scenario under, matter of fact, continue.
Con. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Right, that word under goes into subjection. So this is king's talk. Under the rulers of the planet Earth, this place is defiled. It's fading, it's languishing. You see?
Hmm.
And we just read that in 2nd Ezra 15, where the Lord gave the reasoning behind him bringing the destruction. Because wickedness have exceedingly polluted the planet Earth. And the source, the generator of that wickedness is the wicked. Who is the wicked? You can read about that in Job, the 9th chapter, in the 24th verse, as well as what's that, Malachi?
Okay.
The Lord actually calls names, man. He said the wicked is Esau. Go ahead.
Con. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof,
Mm-hmm.
because they have transgressed the laws.
Look, who that's talking about, man? Is that not talking about the current rulers? June, right, is Pride Month. Go ahead.
Con. Changed the ordinance
Mm-hmm.
and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and they that dwell therein are desolate.
Right. They that dwell therein are desolate. And how is this desolation going to be brought forth? Go ahead.
Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
Right, which is a dark saying for the third woe. See? So because of the powers that be, the Lord is going to combat that wickedness with judgment. And that judgment going to come in the form of fire, man, that unquenchable fire, which is going to be so dramatic, intense, to where only a remnant, as we just read, and few men are left, man. See? Now, when we incorporate that with World War III, and you can't somehow wrap your mind around, that means you're going to be destroyed. Because it's a reality, man. We just went into a series of articles, and that's just in this snapshot, right? Meaning this live. Imagine all the articles we done brung out throughout the years. And I'm not saying just us per se, beginning at the apostles and elders, pretty much the prophets of Yahweh Shai, man. All the physical evidence that have been filtered through the Holy Scriptures. See? So again, we got to constantly thank the Most High.
Yes.
That gives us more of an incentive to do that because we can see it, man. Again, I got a quote what Yahweh Shai said. Blessed are your eyes for they see. What can you really see? You really can see World War III.
Yeah.
Hey, because think about it. You think World War III is to be downplayed? No, man. That's a heavy moment. There's no other time in history that can rival World War III. See? And it's not, boasting in World War III per se. It's really the Most High's work. World War III is one of the wondrous works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there, and as always, you believers. To the next time, shalom.
Shalom.